We found a post online from about 10 years ago, written by Notch, talking about all sorts of updates he wanted to add to Minecraft. From unique redstone crafting tables and special alchemy tables used for new recipes, to special new dungeons and dimensions that lead to brand new worlds. From hazardous oil fields that will catch you on fire, to even the way mobs bite the dust in-game. We've already covered 40 of these updates in a previous video, but today we look at 50 brand new updates that Minecraft's Notch wanted to add to game, but never did. Let's begin. Alright, so the first thing is a mob that could destroy beds. Now, we didn't exactly get what he envisioned, but we did get the Enderman who can destroy blocks in a sense because, you know, he can pick them up, put them wherever he wants. So we've got red beds here, and ideally, in our recreation, we have a nice golem here that will actually come and destroy blocks. In this case, a bed. Instantly taking this thing out. So now your spawn is completely ruined because of this hunking behemoth. Oh gosh, hopefully it doesn't destroy me. Notch also wanted to add in a redstone microchip, so we've re-envisioned it as a special crafting table. Perhaps Notch wanted you to use this entire crafting table specifically for any redstone related devices, which would totally change how we're used to doing it in Minecraft. We've got an AND gate here, which is a separate version of an existing block format that you can use to use two different redstones to power one final signal. Glad we don't have that one. Notch also wanted to add in portals without any obsidian. And so what we have right here, oh gosh, stay away, is a portal using diamond blocks instead of obsidian. Maybe, depending on what type of block you used, you actually went to a different dimension. Yeah, sure, you're legit. He also wanted to add in musical instruments. Maybe he wasn't sure how they'd be played, but instead we got the note block. But imagine if there was something like, oh, you know, an ocarina in game. Ooh. Ooh, wow, what am I? The ultimate? I'm Bach. They call me Mozart. Mr. Mozart, actually. Respect me. A deep, dark dweller of some sort. Notch mentioned a possible enemy that would only spawn in deep underground. Imagine this kind of nasty mob that, when looking at you, would freeze you in place. I literally can't move right now, and he is coming for me very quickly. I'm literally stuck! Come on, stay away! Oh, I can't do any damage to him! Yo, okay, yeah, I'm glad you didn't add that one. How about recruitable hostile mobs? Notch thought it could be a really good idea for some hostile mobs to be recruitable. Not mobs like zombies or creepers, but maybe spiders or witches. So we've got a tameable spider in here, which we can now tame with bones. Don't ask questions, okay? Just go with it for me. So here's our spider friend. We're gonna tame him. Beautiful. Look, he's my best friend now. You see, it says it in the corner there, so it must be true. Okay, so why don't you come right over here and join us? You can tell that the spider's in sitting mode when we've got the particles above him. So now I'm gonna attack this little Betsy, and we're gonna see the spider go to town on this cow. Yes, that's right. This would be the coolest if we could get an actual spider that could attack mobs for us. Yo, spider pet, he's not exactly good. You'd think he'd be better at aiming with all those eyes. Oh my gosh! What did you do? Sorry, man. Gotta go. Poor baby. Notch wanted to add in an overarching goal or narrative. He was thinking of implementing some form of goal or end of the game. Eventually, we got the Ender Dragon, as you can see from this lovely little skull right up here. But this likely isn't quite what he had envisioned. You know, was there going to be a longer storyline, something interesting happening? Or maybe a specific to the player storyline, where, you know, you might see an example message of Logdotzip has defeated the Elder Dragon. First of all, what's the Elder Dragon? Maybe they meant the Ender Dragon, but all the same, you could have multiple different stories going on at the same time for different players, all in the same world. Instead, it's nice and open-ended, which is what we're kind of used to in Minecraft these days, but it could have been very different. Imagine if there was rope in game. He liked the idea of free hanging rope that could be attached to a wall and fall down to the ground. So we've got a rope right here, and we can actually climb this rope by walking up right next to it. So check this out. Baby, baby, baby. Wow. I don't know if I've ever gotten this much physical activity before. Just kidding. I'm still playing video games. It's not like I'm actually good at anything physical in real life. I have strong fingers, though. Notch wanted to introduce losing health when you were standing in the cold. Ugh, I could just imagine it. Maybe you'd take damage when, you know, you had cold system. And look at our hearts down there now, nice and blue from the frostbite. The moment we step onto cold blocks, we start taking damage instantly. That could have introduced a lot of different features like warm armor types, leather, fires, keeping torches nearby. You know, there's lots of different ways to do it. We, of course, just made this ourselves, but hey, imagine if it were actually in Minecraft. It'd be bad news. How about keeping items on death? Imagine if there was a special chest that would appear when, you died. And that's exactly what we have right here. Notch envisioned the ability for you to keep items on death, maybe being stored in a special chest that would spawn in on your death. And if we were to go over here, you would see that that is exactly what just happened. We've got a slightly different colored chest containing everything we had on us in the chest. Well, never came to game. How about hedgehogs, baby? Notch wanted to add in hedgehogs in game that might damage the player if you happen to step on them. Look at this adorable... Ugh. I don't know if adorable is the right word, but oh gosh, you heard me. Stepping on him deals damage to you. You can even attack this creature, although it wouldn't be too effective. I'm kind of glad they weren't added in game. Apparently they dropped chicken. Yeah. Speaking of chicken, Notch also wanted to add in different types of birds. Now, eventually we did get things like parrots, but he was thinking more along the lines of birds you could actually get food from, such as, ducks. Now, don't pay attention to the sounds they're making. They're definitely not chickens. They're not chickens. Seriously, they're ducks. Don't ask questions, just accept. How about redstone-controlled furnaces? He considered the possibility of a redstone-controlled furnace that could be toggled on and off to burn depending on if you wanted to, well, cook anything. So right now, furnace is turned off. Turn it on though, we see that it is burning despite not having any fuel at all. And if we were to turn it back off, you'd notice that the fuel right here is completely going back down to 0. The cook rate is entirely dependent on if the machine has been powered with fuel, or rather redstone, or not, because the redstone would be the fuel in this case. See, I'm smart. Don't worry about it. Ooh, iron. Notch wanted gold tools to have greater enchantability. He was playing around with the idea of gold tools being easier to enchant, but instead made the enchantment roll more valuable for golden tools. So now, the way it currently works is you've got a better chance of better enchantments when you have gold tools in place. Knockback 2. It's alright. Golden pickaxe, efficiency 3. Oh my goodness, I get some more levels up in here, baby. Let's go ahead and drop these back in. So as you can see here, we've got some decent enchantments going on, but it's not enough. Instead, this is what we were dealt with. So, you give what you can. Ooh, that's a pretty good one. How about number 15, elementals? Notch said he liked the idea of elemental mobs. These would have been based on fire, water, earth, and air elements. Perhaps even heart, and then it'd be like Captain Planet with their powers combined. I don't think anyone even knows what Captain Planet is anymore. Did I just show how old I am? Anyways, here's an example of an earth or air elemental with the atmosphere causing this guy to burn. It's definitely not just a retextured blaze. Don't ask questions. Like I said, those were ducks before. Guys, seriously, just work with me a little bit. Capture the flag. Yes, my favorite game as a child. Notch played around the idea of having a capture the flag game mode in game, however he decided to leave that to the community to make the game themselves. Just using their imagination. Yeah, I'm so creative. You'll have to use your imagination to figure out what this would look like. Because we're moving on to number 17, inviting friends, aka a friends list. Notch was planning on adding in a friends list, which allows players to join your single player worlds. Bedrock Edition actually has this in game right now, but it's not available in Java. So here's an example. We've got a pending friend invite from the Waz build team who put together today's world, by the way. Shouts out to them. Do we want to accept them? Ooh, turns green. New friend. Yeah, we're gonna go with the decline. Sorry, y'all just got blocked. Gosh, this guys won't leave me alone. 18 is rituals. Notch mentioned he might add some rituals in game or a way to conjure a creeper army or something along those lines. It could maybe be something like this. Ooh, drop these on top of an enchanting table. Are we about to summon something? Oh boy. Ooh, gosh. Hey, we just got a fire rod. Look at this thing. Whoa, I like the sound effects. Very, very Super NES status. Magical rods by the Waz build team. Not enough magic. Come again? Oh, this thing's worthless. Spears. Notch wanted spears because he liked the idea of spears. Me too. Instead, we've got tridents, which is fairly close, but a spear would be a little bit different. Maybe it had, some kind of attack reach option so we could attack mobs further away from it. Maybe there's a way to throw them. Right now, I can just throw them on the ground, but, that's maybe why I didn't get out of the game. I don't know what I just said. That's okay. Look, we can attack this cow from farther away than normal, I think. Yeah, see, yeah, just imagination. How about a nether mob that pushes you into lava? Notch was fond of the idea of a nether mob that could charge in an attempt to throw into lava. It sounds similar to the Hoglin, which was recently added in the Minecraft 1.16 snapshots, but instead, we've got a nether demon. This guy is like literally trying to push. Okay, I get it. Yo, with a knockback stick, imagine this guy hanging out by the edge of a lava pool. All right, I get it. Ugh. You are rude. Better diamonds. Notch wasn't satisfied with the existing types of diamonds, considering them mostly useless once you got enough of them. So on the left, we've got an example of better diamonds. These are unbreakable sets of armor that have been reinforced with extra amounts of diamonds. See, there's 2 extra diamond enchantments or whatever we've decided to consider this one in this one, and 20 on this guy. And if you look over here, these are the plain old, not unbreakable. So now we've got different options here. Ooh, I get behind that one. I guess you don't really need to anymore because in the new 1.16 snapshots, there's now netherite, which is better than diamond. But we move on to number 22, the bridge mod. Notch should mention he might borrow the idea behind certain mods that were around at the time that would add in insta bridges. Here's an example of what that could have looked like. Now, I'm glad this one didn't make it in game because the cool thing about Minecraft is you essentially do everything by hand unless you're using extra software, of course, but this is much cooler. Even though it doesn't necessarily fit, it is pretty cool. Either way, it never made it in game. You've got piston bridges, and those are more automatic in a way, but you can still see them slowly building, and you had to place everything yourself as well. This was a single button press, didn't really fit. 23, mega structures. Notch had plans for mega structures. Open volcanoes, snow-covered mountains. Now, caves are the only thing that qualified as a mega structure at the time, but imagine a world where you just had giant hulking volcanoes all over the place that you could find. That would be sweet. Notch also wanted to implement a magic system of some sort that would require ingredients from monsters and be crafted through alchemy. So we've got a different set of rings here. Why don't we go with the Pegasus ring, place that in our offhand, and maybe we had a magic meter of some sort which would actually allow us to go faster around the world depending on what ring type, or in this case item type, that Notch decided to implement. For now, we'll just pause it. Okay, here's a cool one, a hexagonal crafting table. Amazing. Now, we were just talking about potential having alchemy. Now, this never ended up making it in game, but look at this crafting table. This thing is amazing looking. It's not exactly functional, but you could imagine in your head what this might look like. Imagine placing items in these different slots so that we could make something very special using a brand new type of crafting grid. 26 was glowing blocks, which you can see right here. Notch was planning to add the ability to make blocks glow by means of a magic system. This could potentially be what it would have looked like. Maybe acting as a beacon of some sort. Maybe that's what the beacon became. Or the ability to capture mob spawners using magic. Since he liked the idea of mob spawners being able to be made using magic, maybe his magic system would have included the ability to capture some of these things. You know, like a band of entrapment. Maybe you throw this guy on a little piggy, and you can instantly get a mob spawner of that pig type, placeable at a moment's notice. Hi! How about moon cycles affecting alchemy? Once again, something that Notch wanted to add, but ended up not adding. Imagine if there was a moon band ring of some sort that could give you different powers dependent on the moon cycle time of day. So we can set it to night. We see that there's a full moon right now, and because we've got our moon band on hand, we've got a strength 3 boost. Perhaps though, depending on the actual moon phase, the power would change. Now we've got night vision, change that phase once again, and now we've got regen. Once again, we've got speed boost, jump boost, etc., etc., etc. It would have made for some seriously interesting combat dynamics by being able to change what the ring did depending on what type of moon there was outside. A diving helmet. Now this ended up coming in game in some form, in the form of the turtle shell helmet, which gives you a water breathing boost the moment you hit water, but could have easily been a diving helmet that was added in instead that you could add to your face. Oh gosh, needs some work here, but would allow you to breathe underwater, at least, you know, for a limited amount of time. Oh boy. How about zombie sieges? I remember this one. He wanted a zombie siege to take place with, you know, some kind of, red blood moon taking on the form of the nighttime wonder, and zombies being able to break through and actually destroy the area that you were hiding in, eventually going after you and attacking you from wherever you were in game. Now these guys look a little buff, so if you guys could just stay away, that would be good. Oh gosh, we should probably move on. How's about flying mounts? Notch wanted tameable mobs that you could ride in the air. Now we can kind of do that with commands, with flying bees. It's a little, you know, janky, but you know, we're gonna go ahead and count that one. Hi, buddy. Hi, buddy. Yeah, you suck. Oh wow, he's still alive. Oh gosh. Notch wanted to add in iron spikes, and they'd work in a similar manner to cactus, where if you touched them, you get damaged. And that's kind of the whole idea. You step on these things, you take serious damage. I wouldn't recommend doing so. Probably meant to be found in caves in the form of stalactites, stalagmites. You could collect them, place them where you wanted. It's hard to tell. They never came to game. biome-specific mobs. You know, a desert skeleton. You know, a frozen zombie. All sorts of different looking creatures that would all change depending on what biome you were in. Can you guys stop following me, please? Flammable oil. Oh my gosh, get your barbecues ready, baby. Flammable oil could have been used for a disaster type environment. I don't know. He ended up not adding it in because he felt it was going to be a little bit too technical and magical feeling compared to the rest of Minecraft. So, you know, you can just enjoy it right here. I don't necessarily enjoy it. I'm on fire. Notch played with the idea of not being able to change your spawn point at all. Beds ended up being added either way, and you could change your respawn point depending on when you right-clicked on the bed, but he thought that if you couldn't change your spawn point, that it would force the player to add in transportation systems, magical systems, things of that nature. So glad that wasn't added. But what I wished had been added was more useful wool. Originally, there was going to be wool armor, which could be dyed, and depending on the color of the wool, may or may not do different things. For example, we've got different types of wool here: sock, shirt, hat, etc. Now, when you wear these gear pieces, you'll actually see less fall damage when falling using this different type of wool. So, interestingly enough, this was never added in, and I so terribly wished it was, because right now, I don't really have any reason to wear dyed armor unless I'm trying to look hot. Yeah. Floodgates, a floodgate block of some sort. Now, Pistons removed the need for this, but this would have been very interesting for water-based mechanisms. Limping. Now, the idea here is that if you were low on damage, you would actually move more slowly and limp around. This ended up not ever being added in game. It was probably too annoying to have made it long term. This one's awesome, ragdoll physics. The idea is that when you destroyed a mob, they would pop all over the place, like this little guy. Oh boy, what a mess. Let's get to cleaning, folks. Kind of be morbid if it happened to the player, though. Yikes. How about torches that were less effective the deeper into the cave systems you are? Yeah, this was something that Notch wanted to add. Notice how useful torches are currently when we're in these higher levels. But if we were to go down deeper, you'd notice right off the bat, these torches are no longer lighting nearly as efficiently as torches near the top parts of the cave. The deeper you went, the worse the torches would get. Instead, they all work the same, which is probably for the best. Last 10, guys. Number 41, linking servers with portals. Notch wanted for the player to have the ability to link different server types with a special portal in-game that was different from the nether portals that you may be used to, maybe showing up as a different color so you can tell the difference between them. This portal actually takes you to the Logdotzip members server. Alternatively, you can get there by becoming a channel member by clicking the join button in blue below, as well as some other awesome perks you can get as a member only. 42, pigmen villages. Notch originally wanted pigmen to live in villages, and this never ended up being added, though in 1.16, the piglins showed up. So maybe we can look to a future where these guys do live in a little village found somewhere in the nether. For now, I recommend they just get their hands on some clothing instead. Shameful. Uh-oh, I made him mad. Equipping friendly mobs. Notch thought it'd be awesome if we could give creatures such as the villagers helmets, armor different types. You see? Look at that. Instantly placing one on. Yo, you looking good, dude. You got any good trades? No, of course not. How about more rideable animals, such as Betsy right here? Yeah. Look at you. Aren't you just the greatest little creature of all time? I'm literally riding on a cow right now. Oh, you guys are so jealous. Shame it never made it in game, though. Back in your cage. Before emeralds, there was the concept of coins. Notch liked coins. You can tell by his fat paychecks on this game. Perhaps coins would have been an unfarmable item that you had to use by trading villagers. In this case, we've got some coins here. Maybe this guy wants some, huh? Yo, what you gonna give me? Typical. Growable mossy cobblestone using nearby water. Imagine if water placed near cobblestone would slowly turn it into mossy cobblestone. We'll be back to see if some of that moss grew. For now, let's head over to number 47, a team furnace game mode. Notch like the idea of mini games and custom game modes, and perhaps there was one where whoever cooked the gold in the furnace the fastest would eventually win that game mode type. Meanwhile, back over here, we've seen that some of the moss has spread using the water fountain nearby. Not bad, but why don't we go ahead and collect. Ooh, that's right. I'm the winner, baby. Yo, do something about it. I'm so good at everything. Yeah. Notch wanted food to stack in chests, but maybe not necessarily in your inventory. You know, that way you could keep a whole bunch of it in a chest. So we got 5 cakes right here, and they stack just fine when they're inside here. But trying to place them in the inventory, and as you can see, we cannot click these cakes back onto each other once again. So, good for storage, bad for eating. Well, I mean, okay for eating. Who doesn't like cake? Notch also wanted lanterns to eventually replace torches in-game, because originally Notch wanted torches to actually go out. And if you didn't see our first Notch video where we cover 40 different things that Notch originally wanted to add to Minecraft but never ended up adding, then I recommend you click the eye in the corner or check out the link in the description of today's video so you can watch that video as well. There's 40 brand new things in that one that you didn't see in this one. So we've got all these different torches here, and this is the world that Notch wanted to live in. All lanterns. Never ended up happening, but we did get lanterns added in game. And finally, my friends, number 50 right here, decorative shelves. Notch thought the idea of decorative shelves was cool, so he considered adding them. Imagine a world where you could place things on stairs just like this to be shown off and displayed for anyone nearby. With how nice of a finish this shelf has, it is the video's end as well. So make sure you check out those other 40 things that have been added. Subscribe for more awesome content. Shout out to Wast, and we will see you guys later. Also, leave a like on the video. Thanks.